Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome
How
in. Hello, we are so excited to be here with you guys today. Of course, hopping into a good overview of the app's dashboard and the custom church app. Yeah, super excited to be here with all of you today. We'll get into meeting our team here in a minute, but I'll give it a second to let people continue to join. And we will have an icebreaker question as well. But while we're sitting here, maybe drop in the chat where you're tuning in from so we all kind of get familiar with each other. I want to make sure the chat is super active. We love to chat, Hailey and I. So if you have questions or if you just want to tell us about yourself, maybe your church, where you're joining from, we'd love to learn more about you guys. Yeah, just super
a lot
excited.
of East Coasters over here.
Yeah, let me see.
Dang.
Chicago, California. King, North Carolina sounds like a really cool place to live.
It
To
really
know you
does.
live in King, that's awesome. Ontario, awesome. We
Let's
got people tuning in.
go. Love it.
Tennessee. I was gonna say, did I say good morning? It's morning for me. I guess it's not morning for some of you now. It's afternoon
True.
for you guys, but morning for me. Awesome. Got someone from Pennsylvania as well. Super cool. We got another Kings County. Look at you guys and your Kings. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, Haley, do you think we're good to jump in? I think we're good. I mean,
I think
people
we're
might
ready.
still be trickling in, but we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Yeah, like I mentioned, today's webinar is covering the app's dashboard. Hoping to just give everybody a good overview of how to utilize your app and really like up the engagement with your members. Make sure that you're making the best use of your app. Of course, this is our team. Daniel leads our education team, and then Hailey and I are part of that as well. I have been, I'll just share some about me, and then Hailey, you can do the same. But if we haven't met before, my name is Moriah. I have been at Tithely for coming up on 3 years. It seems shorter than that, longer than that, everything in between. But been here for 3 years. I started in our support team and then have basically worked my way through a bunch of teams at Tithely, kind of putting my hands into lots of different teams. But really, something about me, my husband and I live in Tucson, Arizona. It's just as hot as it sounds. And yeah, I've just loved being a part of the Tithely team. Really, our goal is just to make sure that everybody feels like well equipped and well supported by our team, but also we want to like take the training wheels off for you at some point so that you feel like you're confident in the product. You can train your team. Like that's really what we want. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. But Hailey, if you want to share something about yourself as well.
Yeah, thanks, Mariah. I'm Hailey, and I've been with Tithely for I think almost 5 years now. I took a year break, so I don't know if that makes it 4 or 5, but have really loved being at Tithely, and just we're so passionate about the churches that work with us. And yeah, being on the education team has been a new role for both me and Mariah, and we're so grateful for it because it really just, I don't know, it's something that brings me a lot of purpose to help churches feel really confident about their products. So we're excited to go over things, and yeah, can't wait to continue to teach you guys how awesome your Tithely account is. So
Yeah, awesome. Well, super cool. We'll go ahead and start with the question of the day just to kind of open the floor, get some questions going in the chat. But if you can tell us, what is one app that you can't live without? When I was writing this question, I honestly had to think about it. And I know that saying Slack is not a super cool answer, but I love talking to my coworkers. Obviously, like Tidely's remote, so I love being able to like connect without my coworkers throughout the day. It's what keeps me sane and makes me have fun days of work. So Slack is my answer, but that's not a really cool one. So if anyone has any cooler answers than that, Hailey, what's one that you can't live without?
I would have to say I use my music app probably every day to listen to some sort of music.
That's a good
So I know
answer.
there's like a bunch of different kinds. I have my favorites, but yeah, my music app. I need
Yeah,
my good tunes every day. Put me in a good mood.
that's actually a way better answer. I'm changing mine to Spotify.
Nice.
Some people are an Apple Music
Right.
fan. You know what? I'm not gonna
iTunes.
hate on it.
Yeah,
You do
there's so
you.
many out there.
Yeah. Also, reminders on iPhone, that is a really, really good answer. I actually utilize that a lot. If you're not
True.
familiar with the reminders app, get into that, guys. It's very helpful. Okay, well, cool. So let's go ahead and also clarify that we, throughout this webinar, we'll have the option for you to drop some Q&As into the chat. We'll do our best. Hailey will be kind of monitoring the chat throughout this webinar. But if you have specific questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A portion. It's that little question mark on the right side of your screen. You should be able to drop a question in there. But feel free to ask them there. The goal at the end is that we address those Q&A questions. And don't be embarrassed about questions. You may be asking something that someone else also had a question about, and so we're answering questions for everybody. But make sure to utilize that portion of the webinar. So this is also our product suite. We wanted to just give you a brief overview, or really a screen grab here just to show you. Tithely offers a lot of products. So you may only utilize text to give, or you may only utilize apps, but really the heart of our product suite is to kind of touch on every pain point that may, pastors, people of nonprofit organizations might run into, and that our product suite kind of covers all of that. And so just know if you have questions about our product suite, Hailey and I, our support team, our success team, are always there to answer questions. But know that we have tons of products that can suit everybody's needs. So I will go ahead and hop into the apps overview. So kind of what we'll be covering today in our demos. So we'll kind of be going through the tabs, app pages, our layout editor, and the settings. So that's kind of the overview. And then the first thing we want to take a look at is the apps dashboard. This really just is more so you can get an idea of kind of what that dashboard looks like. This is where all of the administrative tasks will be managed from your church app. So this screen grab on the right-hand side is what that'll look like. And then the next portion, we're going to get into tabs. This will be the first section we kind of take a look at our demo account here. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into, let me make myself a little bit smaller. So here we're looking at the app dashboard. So the first thing we'll get into is tabs. So tabs, this is going to be the bottom navigation bar of your application. So when you're looking at your custom church app, the bottom tabs at the bottom portion of your app is going to be these 4 main tabs. Just for cleanliness or like easy to look at, easy to manage, we only allow you to have 4 tabs seen at one time. But we also give you the option to utilize this more feature here, where it looks like that hamburger icon is what we call it. But this more tab will allow you to continue to add more tabs to your app, but keep it clean by only having the 4 main ones visible. So if you ever need to reorder your tabs, all you have to do is hover your mouse over this icon on the left until your cursor becomes this 4-way arrow. You can then just simply click on it and then drag and drop it. And then of course, click save. I'll say this a ton throughout this webinar, but whatever changes you make sure you click save or publish on that screen that you're looking at so that whatever changes you make, they save. But that's how you're gonna reorder the tabs. If you need to delete or remove those tabs, you do have the option, of course, to click this little trash can icon on the right-hand side. So you can do that. I will clarify that this permanently deletes the tab. What I would recommend doing, just so that if you need to use it, you need to come back to it, is just to hide it. You can do that by just clicking anywhere on the banner. And then seeing this little hide and more menu tab here, you can go ahead and check that box and click save. Now you'll see here that it's kind of grayed itself out, meaning that if I ever need to pull that tab back, I just simply click on the banner, uncheck the hide and more menu, and click save. And now you see it's back, and now I can move it to wherever I need to adjust it. So just something to keep in mind, be cautious with the trash can icon. Now, so the main tabs is that bottom navigation bar. More tabs here is, of course, all the tabs that are going to be visible within that hamburger menu. So anything, I kind of just mentioned this, but anything that's grayed out is not currently visible in the More tab. Everything that's this light gray color, you're going to see. If you need to edit the tabs themselves, you can, of course, just click into the banner. You can adjust the name here by just backspacing and typing in whatever you need to adjust. You can also change the icon. So whatever someone's seeing when they click on that that tab, you can adjust the icon with that as well. And clearly we have lots to choose from. So plenty of options if you need them. And then you can also adjust the long name. This is really just what someone's going to see when they're actively in the tab. The short name is what you'll see before you click into the tab itself. So you can make this like more of an abbreviation. And then if there's a longer name to it, you can add that here as well. And then in this link section, this is where that tab is linking to. So right now we're currently on, let's see, I think we were just on the this web link here. So if someone clicks on the tab that says Help Center, you'll see here that I've linked the actual Help Center URL so that if someone accesses that tab from their phone, it's going to redirect them out to the Help Center. So that's kind of a helpful tool to remember. If you need that tab to link somewhere else, this is where you would do it. You can also open into an external browser. So if you want the ability for them to kind of leave your application, you can check this as well. And then, of course, whatever changes you make to that tab, you're going to click Save. And then the last thing I'll mention on the tab section is the addable tabs. So you'll start with some default tabs here within Main and More. But let's say I don't see what I'm looking for here. I want to add a new one. If you scroll down to the bottom where it says Addable Tabs, we've got some options here for you to choose from. So there's Web Link, which again allows you to like paste a URL. You also have, areas to link live streams, social media, any of that stuff. But let's say I need another tab to link out to maybe my YouTube page. What I can do is click this plus icon on the right-hand side. That's going to add the tab up here in the top. Let's see where that one went. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So it'll add itself here automatically into the More menu because remember that bottom navigation bar can only have 4 tabs visible at one time. So whatever you add, it's automatically going to add itself to the More menu. But like I mentioned, you can drag and drop it up here. And let's say I want to kick out photos and I want to put my web link up there. I can do that. But you'll see if I need, or if I try to add more than 4 tabs, it's going to kick something out. So if I want sermons up here, it's going to boot About Us. So just something to keep in mind while you're kind of going through and adjusting those tabs. But really, that's the basics of the tab feature. Again, it's that bottom navigation bar. So just keep that in mind. Everything on that bottom navigation bar is managed through the tab section. So let me go ahead and hop back here and we will take a look at app pages next. So app pages are where you're able to fully customize a page within your app. So maybe you don't want to just be able to link something. You want to be able to create something from scratch that you fully customized. You want to make it look the way that you'd like. That's where app pages is going to be super helpful and kind of play a big role in customizing your app. So you're able to create custom pages. You can also control visibility, which you're able to do with most tabs. But I'll get into that in a second, where you're able, a lot of people utilize app pages for, like, let's say there's like a fundraiser you're doing for Christmas and you only need it visible for a little bit of time. You're able to create that page, manage it within your tab section, and then go ahead and hide it once the Christmas season is over. That's kind of where we see app pages used a lot. And then, of course, linking those pages to certain tabs within your app. So let me also, I haven't been looking at the chat. Let me take a look and make sure I'm not missing anything maybe about tabs. Let's see here. Got some good questions already. I think a lot of these we'll focus on during the Q&A section for sure. But let's see here. Okay, I think we're good. So I'll go ahead and hop into the app pages section. And then, someone ping me if you have any important questions about what I'm talking about. Happy to address that while I'm taking a look as well. But app pages here, is going to be on the left-hand side of your menu. And to add a new page, you'll of course click the Add New tab. And this is kind of what the app pages looks like, the basics. So when you're in the app page, let's go ahead and title this, and I'll call this Apps Webinar Test. And then you can add a description to that app page as well if you like, or keywords. These are going to be those SEO words. So kind of trigger words when people search within your app. If you want the app to come up or this app page to come up when someone searches a specific word on your app, you can do that here. So the way that you create an app page is either you can click on this section, this empty box here, or you can use this little pull-out tab on the right-hand side to kind of pull over content that you need. This is super helpful for kind of quickly adding things once you get familiar with how the app pages works and how it looks. Personally, my favorite to use, and again, total personal preference, is this empty section because it allows me to choose from exactly what type of kind of content block that I'm looking for. So you'll see here, I just think this is a little bit easier to see and take a look at. But if I want to go ahead and add like a title page, I'll go ahead and click title. Let's see here. I want something like a full picture that has some text on it. I'm going to go ahead and click on this little box here. That's going to add itself to the page. You'll see here we've just got, a nice picture. If I need to adjust anything about the block I just added, you'll just hover your cursor over that and then select it. And then you'll see here that I'm able to click this little background option to choose a different picture or different piece of media. I can also add a link. So if you have like an image link that you would like to use, you can add that here in this source section. You can also title that link just to keep things organized. You can also open into a new window, open into Lightbox. So there's lots of options, for images that you'll add in this section. You can also click the little pencil icon here that kind of allows you to crop or edit the image. So you can, just drag and drop with your cursor or the size that you'd like it, where you'd like to focus on in that media. And then, of course, you can change it here with the actual dimensions. And then once you make those adjustments, you'll click apply. But let's go back in here and let's click on add. I'm going to add in, let's do some text here. So you'll see here that it's added some text. I want to go ahead and get rid of this picture because I have a media already added. And then all you do to edit that text is come in here, click like you're just on a Google Doc. It's super straightforward. If you need to also adjust the content that's been added to this page, you can simply just drag and drop with the little more icon or the blue tab here. So that's super helpful to make those adjustments. And then you can also click on the little yellow icon, which allows you to just move up and down. So if you're not wanting to use that drag and drop feature, you can do that as well. You're also able to duplicate whatever tab you're currently on. So if I want to duplicate this text box, I'll click more, click duplicate, and I'll go ahead and pop it on the bottom as well. And then, of course, you have the option to delete with this red trash can here. Now, on the left-hand side, this is going to be where you format. So there's obviously tons of options. Let's say I'd like to go ahead and bold all this text. I'll highlight it. I can bold it. I can italicize, underline. The good thing about this is you can see what you've already selected because it kind of puts a little bit of a gray coloring behind whatever format you just selected. So that kind of helps you keep track of what you're formatting. You can also adjust, the spacing, strike through. Alignment is going to be where the text is sitting within that box. So let's say I want this to be more centered. I'll go ahead and click on align and then click center. It should if it loads here. There we go. Yep, so I'm able to adjust the alignment by clicking these tabs as well. I can also, let me see here. I can also do a hyperlink. So if there's text within this box, maybe let's say on this app page, it's specific to maybe volunteering. And I'd like to have a link to a Google Sheet where people can sign up to volunteer at an upcoming event. I can highlight that text and then go ahead and pop in a hyperlink to a Google form or, wherever you're trying to link that to. There's also the undo and redo buttons. And then something that I highly recommend people utilize, it's kind of small on the left-hand side, so it's easily missed, but there's a little kind of what looks like a screen that's called the live preview. If you select this, you're actually able to see what the app page will look like once it's like fully, like when someone's clicking on the app from their, dashboard or from their phone. So you can see here also on the bottom left-hand side, you're able to see that this is what it would look like on a phone. This is what it would look like on a browser. This may be what it looks like on maybe a laptop. So you can kind of get a feel for what your app page is going to look like by using that live preview. So highly recommend utilizing that while you're creating your pages, just to make sure you like the way it looks, because sometimes it might look a little bit different in the edit section than when it's actually live. So once you've created your app page, you like the way it looks. Actually, let me quickly check the chat. I'm not missing anything, I don't think, but I want to make sure I'm addressing any questions. Looks like Hailey's got you guys covered. So once you edit your app page, you like the way it looks, you're ready to go ahead and create that page, you'll just click create. And then it should pop me back into the app pages tab. So let me get back there. So you'll see here now that I've got my apps webinar test page. So it's been created. I can view the link, which will take me into another browser for me to, again, just triple check I like the way it looks. As of right now, where this app page goes is it's not going to be automatically live. It's not going to be automatically visible to everyone. It's going to add itself into the tab section. So what we just covered previously. So if I click back here to tabs and then scroll down to addable tabs, I should see the page I just created. So let's see, or it might have put itself up into one of these sections. Let me take a look. Oh, here it is. It's just partly covered or partly cut off. But yes, so when you create that app page, it's not automatically like visible to everyone. It's going to add itself here. So as an option for you to add, so you can create it, come back and edit it later. Maybe it's something that's seasonal or that you don't need right now. So you can create it. And then when you're ready to add it, same principle as before, you'll just click this little plus icon, go ahead and add it. It's now added to my more menu. And now when people access the more menu, they'll see the option for this apps webinar tab, which, they'll be able to see that page that I just created. So that's kind of the basics to the app pages when you create them. Let me go ahead and hop back here for a second and let me just catch up on the chat. Maybe Hailey, give me a thumbs up if I've missed anything or if you see anything that maybe I didn't catch while I was talking, but I don't think so. Okay, let me see here. Yep, don't think I missed anything. Actually, Hailey, let me add you just so you can tell me.
Yeah, I was just curious really quick before you continue on, because this is the Breeze apps overview, showing how you actually get from the Breeze account into the account that you're showing. Because I know essentially for apps, whether you have a Tithely account or a Breeze account, it's actually going to look the same, but the path to getting from our Breeze account into that apps page would be really helpful. Because I know few people were confused on that part. But yes, this is the Breeze apps area. Again, it looks really similar to Tithely apps. They're basically the same, but the pathway to getting from Breeze to your apps will look a little different. So I'll have Moriah review that.
Yes, let me just find a demo account for you guys really quick. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a great question. To clarify, the dashboards are going to look exactly the same. Where you're accessing them from your Breeze account is obviously it's going to look a little bit different, but once you're actually on that dashboard, it looks exactly the same as if you were accessing it from Tithely.
And even if you just have a Breeze account where you can just show it, it might not be clickable, but you can show where they would go. That would be helpful, and then we can bounce.
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling up now.
Perfect.
Sometimes this is just a little bit slow, so let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, it might just be slow because I have so many tabs open. Do you
No
have one,
worries.
Hailey? I can, if you send me one, I can show.
Absolutely. Yeah, let me see. Make sure this one. Yeah. This should work for you. Here we go.
And then did you drop that to me directly, Hailey?
I think it should be in.
Oh, I see here. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, let me pull this over here so I can show you guys. Hailey, you might actually have to log in from yours if you're able to, or maybe just
Yeah.
give me a screenshot. While we're looking for that, I can just verbally explain it to you. Once you're in your Breeze account, at the top menu bar of your screen, on the right-hand side, there's going to be a tab that says More Extensions. It's on the very right-hand side. If you click on that tab, it'll be a drop down to where you can access things like our app or your site if you have that subscription as well. But let me know, Hailey. I don't know if that answers your guys' questions. It's pretty simple to find, but just to clarify,
Yeah,
the dashboard doesn't look any different once you're in it.
that should be good. And I'll go ahead and just post a photo in the chat since I
Perfect.
remember that we can do that. So if anybody needs to just see a peek on that, and then we should be good.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a great question though, but as far as the logistics of how the app dashboard works, it's the exact same if you were accessing it from Tithely, but you're just going to click on that More tab and then scroll down to apps. Yep, exactly where Hailey just sent us that screenshot. So hope that helps, but nothing about the app dashboard itself actually changes. Perfect. Then did you have any other questions you wanted to cover while you were here, Hailey, or do you want me to jump back in and we can circle
Go
back
ahead and
to
jump back in and we'll circle back. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and hop over then to the layout editor. So within the layout editor, this is going to be the screenshot here that you're seeing on the left-hand side. The layout is where you're adjusting the actual home page of your application. So when you're in the layout editor, there's 3 main sections that you'll edit. And of course, there's kind of subdivisions within each of those sections, but main one is going to be settings. So settings is where you adjust your layout type and then your global styles as well, which again, we'll cover all of this. Some of these words might sound unfamiliar. We'll take a look at the demo account here in a moment. But then content, so that's adjusting the actual blocks themselves. And then you also have the ability to add items, so kind of drag and drop over into the app. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead, share my screen again here, and let's hop into the layout editor. So right beneath tabs, you'll see that there's a layout editor. Now here, we've got a couple layouts because we're often in this account testing and demoing for customers. But the basics to the layout editor is you are creating, when you first sign up for apps, and some of you may be completely new to apps, some of you may already have it. But if you've already set up your app, then you're familiar with that first page that you fill out when you'd like to sign up for apps. It's what we call our automatic app builder. It'll ask you to choose things like your layout. It'll ask for your website link if you have one. But that first initial form that you fill out when you sign up for apps is asking you to choose a layout, and that's what you're first creating when you start with your apps. It's going to be called home. That's just default what that layout is called. But something we highly recommend you doing is once you fill out that form, you've just signed up for apps, you've chosen the layout you want, go ahead and create a duplicate of that home layout. Only reason being so that you can go into the duplicate that you've created for your home layout and kind of mess around with it. Get familiar with what it looks like, how it feels to edit aspects of the layout, so that when you feel confident, you know how to utilize that section of the app. that you can go back to the home layout, make those adjustments. But just having that duplicate is kind of a good backup so that, if you make an edit on the duplicate and you're like, whoa, I don't like that. How do I get back to what I started with? You've already created a duplicate. You can just go back to your home page and kind of take a look at it and say, these are the settings. This is what I need to go back to. So it's just a good reference point. We just recommend doing that until you feel comfortable with making adjustments to your home layout. So I'll go ahead and click into this layout here. Now, the super cool thing about the app's layout is that you do have an interactive preview here on the right-hand side that allows you to see edits you're making real time so that you can see what it'll look like from a phone's perspective. So you can also change the device as well. So I don't think the drop down is showing up on when I share a screen, but there is tons and tons and tons of iPhone or Android device types that you can choose from. So, if you don't have an iPhone 13, you can go down to an Android Google Pixel, and you can see kind of what that will look like between devices to make sure that you like the way that it looks. So the first tab we'll take a look at is the settings tab here. So this first section is going to be the layout type. Now, this is where, again, I would advise caution when you are adjusting your layout. You can make adjustments to your layout as many times as you want. However, if you click on a different layout, the screen will prompt, and I don't think it shows when I'm sharing my screen, but there's a big pop-up that says you are switching to a new layout template and will lose the work that you have done on your current template. Reason being, this is, the layout that we started with. It's added the content, and all the content, fits within the sections nicely. If I change the layout, I might lose some of that content because it doesn't fit within the style of that new layout that I've selected. So you can make changes. Just be aware that you might lose some content that you've already added, and you'll have to re-add it, which is totally fine. But just keep that in mind before you make those adjustments, that you may lose some things that you've already added. Next section is the global styles. So I can adjust the background color by either clicking here on the little color block and just dragging and dropping. You'll see here that as I'm making adjustments, it's happening on the right side, which is super cool. Or you can also, if you have like hex codes, maybe your church has specific branding or color, your nonprofit, you can just go ahead and backspace and type in that exact hex code as well. Now, the layout settings tab is where you can adjust the layout name. So where I see this used quite often is a lot of churches that like to get super creative, and I keep bringing up like seasonal things, but that's where I see a lot of the creativity come through, is if you want to create a new layout for like the Christmas season that has Christmas colors and Christmas themes, Christmas content, you can change the layout name. That way, it says up here at the top banner, whatever you'd like to call that layout. You can also adjust the background screen color. Works the same as before. You could just, drag and drop that color where you'd like, or enter a hex code. And then you can also show a floating give button. So right now, there's no floating give button here. If I turn it on, you'll see here down at the bottom right now that there's this little heart icon. Just kind of makes it simple for people to access and give directly from that tab. So that's pretty cool. But whatever adjustments, again, that you make sure that you select the Publish tab before you click away from that screen. And then on the content section, this is where you're going to edit the actual homepage of your application. So you'll see here as I'm dragging my mouse over these layers that they're highlighting on the right-hand side, so I know exactly what I'm changing. So you'll see here within the sermon section, if I need to adjust maybe where this area directs to. So you'll see here, sermons. So let's say right now it's linked to our sermons or our podcast area, but I want it to link to, let's say I want it to link to our, let's take a look. Actually, let me go back. I'm going to say I want it to link to our sermons, maybe our blog. Let's just say for some reason I want it to link to my blog. I can change it by choosing the area where I'd like this block to redirect to. So that's kind of how you would adjust where you're linking that specific feature to. I'm just going to highlight this quickly because there may be people in the chat who are like super advanced. If you are not advanced, please, please, please stay away from this section. It could really like trouble some areas of your app. But here you're able to adjust like more specifics of the application. Or actually, excuse me, you know what? This is, you can actually access this section. The advanced features on this side is what I meant. Don't access this. The developer version, this is where you can actually change like the code. So don't touch that on the settings tab. But on the content tab, you can adjust advanced settings by clicking here. And you can, choose text that you'd like on that block. You can change the color. And then the list type is right now it's horizontal. So it allows people to scroll like horizontally on the app, but you can change it so that they're only able to scroll vertically. So that's kind of what you would adjust for each section. Again, to adjust the layers, you can either just hover your mouse over them here, or you can actually just click on them with your mouse in the interactive preview. If you need to delete a block, you can click the red trash can here, or you can click it here. But that's kind of how you would manage your layers within the layout editor. Let me take a look before I jump to the next section, if there's anything pertinent that I can cover here while I'm on this screen. Let's see. I can address this question, John. It looks like thought this webinar was going to be about Breeze, or I followed the instruction. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, can you guys still see me? It looks like my application is having a tough time here. Can you guys still hear me all right? Okay, perfect. I got a nod. Okay, anyway, sorry. So when you follow the instructions about getting to this app stuff, it comes up with a screen to subscribe to more options like apps. John, that's a great question. So specific to this webinar is if you're already subscribed to our application, our custom app subscription, or if it's something that you're interested in. So if you're wanting to utilize what you're looking at today, that's going to be the custom app subscription. So that might be where the confusion was. I know that because it's Breeze specific, you can access apps from your Breeze section. But this is specific to our custom app subscription, John. So I don't know if that helps answer that question. Will you be covering live stream today? It doesn't work for us with YouTube. Yeah. Yes, I can take a look at the live stream here. Let me go ahead, for just sake of simplicity, I'll not jump off of this screen since we only have one more section to cover, and then I'll hop into live streams to answer that question for you, Gary. But John, while I am on this screen, the custom app is going to be what we're looking at right now. It's separate from like your Breeze check-in app or like the Tithely giving app. It's a completely separate product that Tithely offers that allows you to create a fully customizable app. And so all these sections that we're looking at now are areas that you can completely like fully customize a brand new app that people can download within the App Store. So I hope that kind of helps answer that question. But I will go ahead and just so we can get through this portion. Within the layout editor, the last section we'll take a look at is the add items. So this is where you're able to drag and drop in new items or new sections to your app. Again, I will kind of highlight, this kind of works similarly to the layout editor or the layout type. If you make an adjustment where you add in a new item, it might kind of reformat the way that your homepage looks. So just be careful when you're adding a new card that it kind of, it fits in where you'd like it to fit. Because if you maybe put it on like one of these horizontal slides, it might kind of reorder where things are. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on the interactive preview so that you like the way that it looks. But this works exactly the same as the content page. So if I add by dragging and dropping a new item into the right-hand side, I can adjust that by just hovering my mouse over it. I can adjust the title. So I'll go ahead and do that. I can also add in more text content, so that body that's underneath kind of the banner title for that layer. I can also change the media as well. So I can choose, from our Tithely media, and then I can also link it. So let's say maybe I'm adding a tile, or excuse me, a layer to my app homepage, and I would like it to link to where people can access, our email or our contact, maybe our pastoral team. I can click link to email and then just enter the email address, and that's going to go ahead and populate into that section. So this area is super customizable. You can choose exactly where you would like your layer to link to. But that's going to be the basics for the layout editor section. Again, I'll stress whatever changes you do make sure you click publish when you're done. So that's saved. But that's going to be the basics to the layout editor. Now, the last thing I'll take a look at, and this is just super brief, the settings tab from your app dashboard. This is where you're managed like the about us information. So, your name, any welcome messages you'd like to include, and then things like contact, email, phone, website. And then this is where you would also find your app download link. So what you send to people when you'd like them to access your app. But let me go ahead and pop back over here to the slides. Now, I know that a lot of you have questions. We'll go ahead and hop into those in a minute, but really highly encourage you to check out our university. This is Tithely University. It should be Breeze, so I will clarify, but it's the same exact URL. It's just breezeuniversity.com. That's what you would check out to watch some basic videos on areas of your account. But let me go ahead and pop Hailey back here with me.
Hello,
And
hello.
then we will go ahead and jump into specific questions. So let's see.
Yeah. So a lot of them we did get a chance to answer along the way. So if you guys are seeing those replies, those are there for you as I was answering as we went on. There will be a recording of this training sent to you. So I know that was asked by a few people as well. And then we
Yes.
did cover that this is the Breeze training. I know it has a lot of Tithely looks to it, and that's because we are one family and we are trying to combine those accounts. So it will continue to look that way and be
Yes.
even more combined as time goes on. I know we've chatted about 3.0 coming soon, and so we're excited to share that with you guys in the future here. One of the things that was mentioned, and if you could just recover it or explain it, Moriah, would be adding your own images into the app. So for any of the areas where you're able to add a photo, how are you able to add your own into that space?
Yeah. Let me go back to my screen here. So where you would add your own images or things that you would like to add, you can do that within this photo section here. Really all that you need to do is you can add, an album. So let's say you have a series of pictures. Clearly we have a cute little dog here. We also have like a kid's album. But you can create a brand new album. Let's just say we've already created this kid's album here. If I access this and scroll down to where it says pictures here, there should be a little add images icon where you can select that, and it'll pull up, your desktop or whatever you've recently downloaded, and you can just pop your pictures in there, and that's it. That's where you would add pictures. If you're asking about adding pictures to a specific section of the app, then maybe clarify. But if you're just talking about like having kind of a Dropbox of your own photos, it would be done in this tab here in the photo section.
Yeah, I think that was more the general question. And then I'm also going to send just a link to you as well, letting you know of, I'd sent you a link already, Sherry, but I sent you another link showing that photos walkthrough that Moriah just went through. So that'll help as well. Great. And then there was a question about the sermon shots, and I sent you guys a link. That's more of an outside tool, and so you'd have to use a web link for that. The sermon notes specifically in our product is a little different and it's built in, so definitely take a chance to look over that. And I know Moriah kind of covered some of that today. And then Let's see here. Did you get a chance to cover for Gary the live stream area just real quick?
Yeah, I can show that. Did you have any
So
specific about live
yeah,
streams?
their specific thing was that the YouTube isn't working for them, so just kind of giving an overall walkthrough, maybe troubleshooting what might be the problem, but more so like what's the general function, and if Gary, you're noticing that it's not working the way that she's showing it, then that's something where you'd reach out to support at tithe.ly because it might be something going on with your particular account that we could fix. But we'll have Moriah just kind of cover generally how live stream functions, and then if what she's covering seems to be what's wrong with your account, please feel free to reach out to our team for sure.
For sure, yeah. So live streams, it's for YouTube specifically. I'll just go ahead and cover that. So let's say you're adding a new live stream. Let me come over actually to YouTube and copy. Let me copy a video here just so I have a link to show.
Great.
Let me do this. Sorry, I'm just copying that link over here. Pop back to the dashboard. Click add new. Let's say, I'm leaving it as the source within our app, of course. I'll title this just Tithely video. I'll choose the start and end times. I'll leave them, as this, because that's kind of the time frame we're in right now. The video URL, there's specific URLs that it's kind of picky with. Typically, and Hailey, you can correct me if you're wrong, if you understand it to be something different, but I'm almost positive that all links should include this watch portion, and I'm going to test it. That might not be the case, but I'm pretty sure. And then if you have a sermon series, you can link it to that. I'll leave chat on, no moderators. I'll just go ahead and click create. So it's adding itself fine. My question, Gary, to you then, is it that people are struggling to access that live stream? Is it not showing up for them? Are you not seeing that it's connecting to your YouTube correctly? What's the specific issue with your live stream?
Yeah, and go ahead and I don't know if Gary's still here with us. He might have had to leave early, but go ahead and email. You'll get this recording. So go ahead and email support at tithe.ly and let them know the exact issue that you're running into, and they should be able to fix that really quick for you. One of the other questions that was asked is about groups. So I know we didn't specifically cover it in here, and I know it's a new application that we've gotten recently with apps, and so Moriah, I'm not sure if you're prepared to cover that today. But yeah, groups is kind of a new tool that's been added into Breeze and added into apps, and we're really excited for it. It's basically this area that's going to allow group chatting and lots of really cool stuff. So I can send a link, but we'll make sure to add a link into the follow-up email that has the recording of apps that just covers that new tool that's coming, because I'm not sure if we'll be able to review it here.
Yeah, I think, if we can just send a link, we'll make sure that link is included with the follow-up to you guys, because we're super excited, but it is new. So I would want to make sure that the information you're getting is accurate and like super in depth. So we'll make sure that you get some resources on that for sure.
Amazing. And then based on that live stream, Sherry was curious about, so how does that function within the app itself? Is it like directly in the app? From what I understand, you can put a live stream button on your main screen of your app. And then when your members click into that, if it's live streaming going, they're able to actually watch that live from the app. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So where it links to is typically, so this live streams tab here, it should automatically link to wherever it says sermons. So here, like with this, it's already added. So that's where that redirects. But once you add the live stream, it's going to direct to wherever you have sermons within your layout editor.
Cool. Awesome. We have a few more popping up here. Let's see. There's another question we have here from Gary specifically about the live stream. And I think it's answering that question of what's going on with his. So, Moriah, I don't know if you want to check out that question. It says, we used to use and be able to have a channel link, launch a new live stream without setting up live streams as it's happening, and we can no longer use that. Yeah, that does sound like something we'll need you to reach out to support@tithe.ly.
Yep.
The team will be able to figure out why it's no longer functioning for you correctly, because we
'Cause
definitely
there
want to
could
get that
be
resolved for
Yeah,
you.
there could be tons of reasons. I think that troubleshooting with our support team is gonna be best for you, Gary, for sure.
Yeah. And then Amanda, groups should be included with your tools. That's why we're saying it's so new. We can't remember where it's been launched quite yet. So
Yeah.
it's like a slow launch basically where they're launching it into each of the products here, but it's basically going to be connected to your Breeze that is functioning within the app. So Breeze already has groups as one of its options in the platform, but now it's going to get connected into your app. And so that means that people can join a group or be added
Yeah.
to a group within the app and then chat with their groups within your app as well. So, again, we'll add some extra education to that in the email that's sent to you with this recording. We're just not prepared to cover all the vast new things that come with the groups area, but yes, it should
Yeah.
be included. I don't know the answer about how it connects to sites. That's a great question. From my understanding, I don't think it's really an application that's in sites specifically, but I know for sure it is included with your app subscription. So
Yeah.
again, I will go ahead and add some extra stuff. And okay, Amanda, yeah, we'll with the education we send, it should explain why you are or are not seeing groups within your Breeze yet. So again, me and Moriah are kind of stumbling here because it's a brand new product, so we're
Yeah.
excited for it, but we're
Yeah.
not positive where the teams have launched it yet. So it might not show up in your Breeze quite yet, but they are slowly rolling it out to all accounts. So you should see it. It should be included when it has been launched to your product. So again, we'll include the education to that in the email you receive with the recording of this webinar. And then that should give you further information of when you should be able to see it and how to use it when it does come into your account. So sorry that we're not quite prepared to answer that quite yet. So thanks, Amanda.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all the questions we have. Moriah,
Perfect.
thanks so much for everything you covered. We're really appreciate it. And yeah, this was a really great walkthrough of all the apps in Breeze.
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful spending some time with you guys. So, like we said, we'll follow up with all the resources that you need to feel super prepared with your app subscription. But if you have any questions, please reach out to our support team. That's support@tithe.ly. They are more than happy to help with any of your maybe more technical questions. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.